Hi, this is Kelly, your certified health coach.
And this is Scarlett, your life coach here in the Valley of the Sun. Welcome to Hot in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And it's getting there.
It's getting there.
It is getting there. It's getting hot.
It is. It is. It's getting hot.
But it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful
Oh my God,
day.
it's a beautiful day.
And I love how all the trees are starting to have their little, the ones that lost their leaves are starting to get their little
buds.
fuzzy buds and stuff.
I love that.
It's awesome.
I love that. So how you been?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You?
No. All those years in the sun catching up with me.
Yep.
Had to have a little boo-boo removed. And luckily it's benign.
Thank goodness.
Damn! It's about the size of a quarter that they took out of my leg. And it is killing me. It hurts so bad. But, you can't keep a good girl down.
That's right.
Ain't gonna happen.
That's right.
Ain't gonna happen. I do have to say, okay, we're gonna just start this off. Last week, yeah, we ran into a little bit of difficulties. Being that it was my damn birthday.
That's right.
And we had reservations. We were told we had plenty of time. We're like, great, let's go do an episode. We got all this time. And they said, beep, 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 your table's ready. It's like, what? Who does that?
Yeah,
Who does
like
that?
10 to 15 minutes early.
What the heck?
So, yeah.
So we did cut last week short, which really was too bad because it was a great topic and we have lots of things to talk about. It's not something you can do in like 20 minutes.
Right.
But I will say, and it's so funny how, I don't know, you think of things, it's that law of attraction, and all of a sudden all those things start coming at you. So we talked about this stuff. And one of our listeners got in touch with us and was saying that they had a family member who is on the autism spectrum and also suffers from depression. Now, at that, just kind of funny, because I'm like scrolling through my Facebook as I'm looking at her message, right? And you know who Tommy Lahren is? Okay. She starts talking about the same thing.
Really?
And I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
It's like, how does this all happen? The universe is just like,
we are meant to be talking about this right now.
It's working its magic.
Exactly.
And what our listener brought up was that, it is very difficult when dealing with mental illness. Not so much with the person having the mental illness, but your resources.
Yes.
And here it was, the pandemic hits, and what happens? Everything shuts down.
Right.
So here are these people who are now having to deal with that on their own.
Yep.
The resources are gone. There's no one to turn to, no one to talk to.
Terrible.
And what's really sad that I was, that is horrible because you do need a network. You really do.
Yeah.
You've got to have that. But even without a pandemic, it's difficult to come by.
It is. Well, and it is difficult because people don't talk about it.
Right.
So if you could talk about it and say, I have this problem, I need some help, then other people could jump in and say, oh, I've got the perfect solution for you that worked for me or worked for my family member or did
maybe
this,
not even perfect, but I have something that will help.
Exactly. So, we need to talk about this stuff. I will tell you that I did talk to my family member and she told me that I could say who it was, and it's my daughter. And she struggles.
Yeah.
She struggles. And she, people with bipolar disorder, it's a lifetime thing. They're always going to have it. They're never going to be rid of it. And so they need to be able to have that support from other people who have it, from other people who've dealt with it, and not only them, but their family members who care for them need to have support.
And I'm gonna go a step further. Even if it's not someone who has it, someone who's dealt with it, they need the compassion from those of us who don't know anything about it.
Right.
I was thinking, why are we so afraid of things we don't understand? Because we do have the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when we have that fear, that's why it's important to find out more.
Right. When you have a friend or a family member that comes to you and says, I'm diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
you go, oh, okay, well, let's look at this and see what we can do about it.
Right. And they'll ask, well, if you're coming over to dinner, what can you eat?
Right.
Can I fix you something special? Do you want to bring your own?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Mm-hmm.
do for you. Let's,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody figures it out.
Exactly. And also, you learn the signs and symptoms of it,
Mm-hmm.
so that if they end up having a diabetic episode, you know what you can do.
Right.
Well, why can't we have that with mental illness as a whole?
Right.
Why can't we say, okay, she, like my daughter, why can't she go to somebody and say, I'm bipolar, and I have these manic episodes, and I have these episodes where I see things and I hear things, voices talk to me, they tell me to do horrible things, and when that happens, I just need you to distract me.
Right. And again, young people, bless your
Mm-hmm.
hearts, are not the most compassionate people.
No, they're not.
Girls are freaking mean.
They are mean. They are.
Girls are mean.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is hard to... Did we just get hit in our mobile office?
We
Here?
did. We did.
The mobile studio just got hit. Yeah, just go ahead and drive away, sweetheart. Go away. So when she, it's hard, first off, to be able to say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm bipolar, because people don't understand.
Right.
Okay? For a long time, I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling Kelly last week, the only thing that got through to me to even mildly put it into some type of perspective for me was a cartoon commercial.
Uh-huh.
And it was about a medication that showed how the brain misfires.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what causes this, is that there's a misfire
Right.
in the brain. When I saw that, it made it so it wasn't as scary. Because when you're saying, bipolar, and I go from, real high to real low, and I have manic episodes, and let me tell you something, manic doesn't mean good.
No.
Manic doesn't mean happy.
Mm-mm.
It's a frightening thing. It's frightening for the person.
Right. Mania is racing thoughts, and you can tell when somebody's in a manic episode is, number one, they probably aren't sleeping. Number two, they are speaking super, super, super fast.
Oh.
Like my daughter, she will talk. I know she's in a manic state when she talks nonstop. And it's like really fast and it's constant. And after about 2 hours, I'm finally like, okay, I need you to take a break. Because I mean, it's exhausting. And then she'll be up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because she can't sleep.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked at those times because I'm awake.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's like I'm one of the few people that, I'm awake. Go ahead. Call me.
in their manic state, they usually, it's not uncommon for them to be overly active sexually. It's also not uncommon for them to overspend. So a lot of times, it's not uncommon for a bipolar person to go and make these random, extreme, excessive purchases and be completely broke when they come out of their manic state and have something like a car or things that they don't have anything to show for it. My daughter, she'll spend her money and I'm like, what did you spend it on? I don't know.
Right. Like,
I don't know.
Go to Dollar Tree and buy a bunch of snacks or something.
That's exactly it.
And then, you've eaten
she
it.
has nothing to show for
it. Right. Right.
So I have to really take her money and I give her like $20 of her own money, and then the rest I have to take away from her and put it away so that she doesn't spend it.
Right.
Because when she doesn't have it, she can't spend it.
Right. So a lot of this, again, the fear of the unknown, not having dealt with it before, and not understanding it, I will admit, I am guilty. I was one of those people that just get over it. Just,
Right.
you just need to get over it.
Right.
You just need to stop and just be happy, because every day I wake up and I choose to be happy.
Right.
But
for some of us, that's easy. For some of us, we can do that.
I really appreciate your patience and your transparency, and hers, with helping me to learn. Now, you know, I'll ask questions.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I don't mean to be insensitive, but I want to know.
Right.
So that I do know how to handle her. Because, you know, she and I have spent a lot of time together. And if anything were to happen, I feel responsible. I don't want her getting hurt.
Right.
No matter what that means, you know, if it means physically, psychologically, you know, I want her to stay safe.
Right.
So I do ask a lot of questions.
Right.
And I really honestly believe that's the only way to find out. Don't be afraid to ask these questions.
Right.
She is very open.
She is very open about
when
it.
you ask her, she's not going to offer it.
Right.
Because honestly, you never know how much that other person can handle. Again, you say, you know, look, you tell somebody, look, I am bipolar, and you kind of have to feel that out.
Yeah.
Do they go, ooh,
right,
or do they say, okay, so what does that mean?
Right. Right.
Well, it means this, you know, and it means that I'm on medication, but there are times when that may not be enough.
Even with meds, they still have their episodes. The medication is just to try and regulate them better. Like with my daughter, she doesn't have these super highs and super lows as often as she used to. Before she was medicated, before we realized what was going on, you know, they had just diagnosed her with ADHD because she was having racing thoughts. Well, that means she must be hyper.
Right.
She couldn't pay attention in class because she's hyper. Well, it turns out she wasn't hyper. She was bipolar. And it took a psychiatrist to determine that. So, her swings would be sometimes daily and sometimes hourly. It would be like she would be crying one minute, and then all of a sudden she'd be laughing hysterically, and then she'd be crying, and then she'd be laughing hysterically, and it was up and down, up and down, up and down, and it was like, holy cow! I mean, this poor girl, you know. And so now, her extreme swings are like a couple times a year. That doesn't mean she's not having them. It just means they're not extreme. Right. And so, yeah.
But there are different coping mechanisms besides medication.
Yes.
That help to get through these episodes. And again, that's what I think is so important, even when you're young, to be able to express this to your friends, the people that you are around, so that if something happens, they're not in the dark.
Right.
If something happens, they know how to help you cope, how to help you get through it.
Right.
And not to just stand back, throw their arms up and go, wow, what's wrong with her?
Right.
You know, but that's just, it's so hard. You know, when we were young, and you think about the friends that you had, how many did you really trust? Honestly.
Yeah, there weren't very many.
I know. And I think I had like 2.
Right.
That I really trusted. Those are still my friends today. And this was when, you know, I met one when I was 7 and one when I was 12. And it really, my grandmother always told me, it's rare that, you know, that you'll have a whole lot of friends. You'll have like 1 or 2 that are.
Right.
But as we get older, you're able to find those people who are more understanding, are more forgiving, are really there, that can handle whatever's happening.
Right.
So it is difficult when you're young to find those people to trust.
It is.
So I understand, you know, that's got to be especially difficult when you're learning to deal with this, trying to learn your coping mechanisms, because it's not a one-stop shop. I mean,
No.
It's not one size fits all.
Right. And everybody, like my daughter, she tends to gravitate to those who also have bipolar disorder. They kind of gravitate to each other, and if they're struggling, that can have a tendency to bring the other one into it, because they're susceptible to it. And so you look at one person, this bipolar person, they express themselves, they have their mania and stuff through anger. They can be very angry and volatile and physical.
That can be scary.
Yeah, and that's a terrifying experience. My daughter had a friend that was like that, and she had to say no, because this girl was very scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she wasn't getting help that she needed. And then you can have the other where they're overly loving and they want to just be friends with everybody and take everybody in and let me help you and love you and I'll be there for you, and you're my best friend. I've known you for 5 minutes and you're my best friend.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to, everybody that's bipolar needs a support system to say, hey, that's not good for you, let's try and go this way, and try and swing them back. And it's not easy. It is not easy.
No. And I hate, I mean, a lot of these people are obviously very independent.
Oh, yes.
Obviously very independent.
And you can be independent. Yes, you can live an independent life.
I really do believe that while they can live an independent life, they really do need someone, like you said, that support system.
Right.
They need somebody that they can count on, somebody who they trust to lead them in the right direction.
Yep.
Because a lot of times you get people who say they're your friends, and they will lead you down the wrong road. Absolutely,
because they can see it. They know they can. They take advantage of people.
Yes, they take advantage. They definitely take advantage. So I think that it's important, like when we were talking about Elisa Lam, and I said that, this girl, and I realized she wanted her adventure. I get that. The woman was an adult. I get it. But when you know that you have this, you went off your meds, I think it would have been better if she had had a family member with her, if her sister had gone. If she had had like a quote-unquote chaperone that could see what's happening. That, first of all, born and raised California, LA.
Yeah.
I didn't go there alone.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you think that's okay?
Right.
I realize you want an adventure.
But that's the whole part of the bipolar disorder too, is they're impulsive.
Right. But this was not an impulse. She planned this trip. And I think someone needed to go with her. She needed somebody else.
But I think she planned the trip on an impulse. And
which she did. She did plan it on an impulse.
She probably went, I need to get out of here. And
I'm going to California.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
And then she got it in her mind, and that's what was going to happen. And she didn't think about the fact that she wasn't taking her meds, that she probably needed to go with somebody. Because to them, they don't realize, sometimes they don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize how they're behaving and how their behavior is hurting them.
Or, if something is dangerous, they may not see that danger. Right. It's like, I don't know. I'm not a huge chicken. I'm a little chicken. So,
me too.
So even though I'm like, ooh, I want to go on an adventure, I'm putting it out there and reeling it in. Which one of my friends wants to go on this adventure? Hey, you got some vacation time?
Exactly.
Because I want to do this adventure.
but I don't want to do it by myself.
But I'm not doing it by myself. Yeah. No, we're not going alone. It's not happening. Not going to happen.
Right.
Well, so another thing, and this is not the be-all and end-all, okay?
Right.
We've talked about it before. We have harped about it before. Diet.
Diet is big.
plays
Yes.
a big role. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying that if you just eat the right foods, you'll be fine. No.
No.
But there are certain foods that they need to stay away from. And it's always the big bad culprits, right? Sugar,
Sugar,
caffeine. And some fats
Yes.
that are just bad for us in general, but can really exacerbate someone with a mental illness, someone who's bipolar.
Well, we've talked about this before, is that when you have good gut health,
Right.
it will help you have good mental health. And seriously, everything about your body hinges on your gut. So if you can heal your gut by taking care of it and having those good pro and prebiotics and you know, then you will help your brain.
Yeah.
And it isn't just helping your brain to have focus, it's helping your brain to be happy and healthy and stable.
Right.
And you know, you take your medication and you take your diet, and then you add in things like deep breathing and meditation and a little bit of exercise and things like that. And all of that combined can really help you be balanced and manage the mental health.
Right. Again, it's not going to make anything go away.
No.
That's still, someday, I hope that they can.
Right.
But it's still very far away for now. But I think that really, like you said, putting all that together makes it more manageable. Again, having that support system to help you with that, because we talked about it last week. They feel better. They don't take the meds because they feel better. But it is important that it all comes into play.
Yes.
And with that support system, to make sure that you are doing all of that, you have a fighting chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really have a fighting chance.
And just because you're on medication, also, I just wanted to throw this out there. Just because someone who's bipolar is on medication doesn't mean that they don't have suicidal thoughts. They still could have suicidal thoughts. So you really just need to be careful when you're talking. If you know somebody who's bipolar and they start talking about their suicidal thoughts, you need to just make sure that, are you making a plan, or are these just thoughts?
Right.
I mean, you know, so talk to them. If they say they're having suicidal thoughts, have a conversation.
Exactly.
Get them to explain what that means, because you don't want them to hurt themselves and then, you know, you carry around guilt.
Right. Yeah. And again, you make sure yourself that you're equipped.
Yes.
If you're not, and they come to you, find someone who is.
Exactly.
Either get them on the phone with a counselor who specializes in this. They have, you know, they've got toll-free numbers all over.
Right.
So get them that help if you don't feel that you are equipped to handle that.
Exactly.
Very important.
Very important. And don't put and by equipped, like, don't have the knowledge.
Right.
Don't have the emotional strength yourself to deal with it. You don't want to put yourself into something that you can't handle.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. If it's something that you've known for a while, then you can just have that conversation. You know, like you were saying earlier, sometimes they just need the diversion.
Right. That's sometimes that when my daughter has an anxiety episode, or can see the demon that she sees.
Right.
All I have to do is I can tell her, one, to either watch funny videos and that will divert her, or we can crack a joke, or
music sometimes helps.
Exactly.
Music sometimes helps. Drawing sometimes helps.
Drawing, writing.
You know, sometimes she's called me. Now, while I don't feel a lot of the times that I am fully equipped, she's pretty easy.
Yeah, she is.
And so we'll just talk.
Right.
About just stuff.
Right.
You know, just girl stuff, or, you know, whatever. And it's okay.
Yep.
You know, after a while, I'll ask her, I'll say, how you doing? She's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's like, right on.
Exactly.
And it's just a conversation.
Exactly.
It's just a conversation.
Because it's just getting her mind off of what's going on.
So when you do meet someone, and you're not familiar with bipolar, not familiar with mental illness, don't shy away.
No, don't.
Because most of them will answer your questions.
Yes. They want people to understand them.
So if you do say, you know what, I'm not real familiar with it, why don't you tell me what that is for you, so that they can do that. And you know, your daughter, she is such a neat person.
Oh, she is. She's amazing.
She's beautiful. She's hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
She's smart.
Yeah.
She's artistic. She's talented. You'll miss out.
Oh, totally.
You'll miss out on beautiful beings. So I think that, again, like suicide, the more we talk about it, the less of a stigma it's going to have.
Yes.
It's not going to go away.
No.
Anytime soon.
Nope.
So I think we just need to deal with that, to learn to talk about it, to not be embarrassed, because trust me, y'all have something going on. Something. Trust
Everybody
me.
has something.
And don't sit here and say, I'm normal. No, you're not, because normal is like living up to somebody else's standards. That's all normal is.
Right.
It's living up to someone else's standards. And we are all unique.
That's right.
And we all have special gifts. And sometimes it just looks different. And sometimes people struggle harder with it. So keep talking about it.
Yep.
Keep talking about it. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it just, I don't know. It's part of who you are.
Right.
So why be ashamed of that? Just learn how to deal with these things and to find that good support group. I really hope that if you are suffering from this, that you do have a good support group. I truly hope so.
Yes.
Because I think it could make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To have that.
Yep.
Well, I think that's going to bring us to what's hot in Arizona on this beautiful day.
Yes.
First day of spring, we're out here.
First day of spring.
It's the weekend for us, you know. First day of spring. Gorgeous day. It's important to eat healthy.
Yep.
To get your exercise. And to get out in the dang sunshine.
Yes.
Seriously.
I think I got a little bit of a sunburn, maybe.
That's good for you. A little bit.
A little bit is
you're
okay.
Yeah. It's not like we sit out there all day long.
No.
We went to a farmer's market.
We did, and it is a big one.
Right?
It was a big one.
I said, would you look at the size of that thing? It was huge.
It was. I loved it.
And so much fun.
It was.
It had like 4 rows, big, long rows, big, of food and homemade goods.
I kind of compare it to almost like a artsy fartsy thing, and then the farmer's market. It was really cool.
It really did. And, I mean, it had everything. It had local farmers. There. Dang it, we didn't go back to that one. I needed to get romaine. I gotta get pig food. So I'm going to the grocery store. But they had the farmers with their produce. They had a lot of homemade good stuff. Lots of honey. You know, I'm a big fan of suntan honey. They were there. Got some CBD infused honey. Good stuff. Good stuff. We got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
We got some sugar-free, I don't know, egg-free, nut-free, purely simple
Soy-free.
sweets, snickerdoodles. Holy cow.
They're so good.
They were
They're so good.
amazing. Yeah, soy-free, dairy-free, butter, oil, and palm oil. So, yeah, good stuff. Amazing. Amazing things. Some of my old favorites were there that we'll probably talk about in a later video, I think. But we got some good food, fresh food, and juices, and it was amazing. It's the Arrowhead Farmers Market, located at the Arrowhead Mall off on Bell, off the 101.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a mall over there. You can smell it. Oh, my God, the food smells were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Everything under the sun. Yeah, it would take us all day to list it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, we bought this lemonade.
It's huge.
Yeah, big
huge.
lemonade.
Strawberry
and it was
lemonade.
Veteran-owned.
Yeah, good
food
stuff.
truck. Yeah, it was so good.
Good stuff. Juice Box was there, and they have really fresh juices, super yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I gotta get home and get it cold because it's better when it's ice cold.
Yeah.
These were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's better when it's ice cold. So yummy. So many fun things. And the puppies.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody brings their dogs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love all the
Super
puppies.
cute.
Oh my gosh. I do have to mention, it was about 50-50 on the mask wearing.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't wear them.
No. Of course, it's outside.
Right.
No problem staying away from people. Most of the vendors were all masked up, gloved up, they're all being super safe. And of course, a lot of people are eating and drinking as they're walking around.
Right.
So, but it was a fabulous day. It's in Glendale, Arrowhead Mall, or is it Arrowhead Town Center? I don't know what
Arrowhead
it's.
Town Center.
Is
It's
that
the
what
same
it is?
thing.
It's in the Dillard's parking lot, and it's huge.
It is.
Parking was super easy though.
Oh yeah.
For as many people that were here, parking is super easy. It was amazing. Definitely worth it to come out, spend the morning, spend the afternoon. It goes from 9 to 2, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yes, I got my butt up. No, I was not here at 9. It was 10:30. But even still, God knows why I'm awake. I'm going home and going back to bed. But I had a really good time.
I did too. I really loved it.
Yeah, there is a lot. There's something for everybody. If you've got like weddings coming up, they had great wedding gifts, lots of personalized things. They had beautiful solar lights that were metal flowers, huge. They were like bigger than dinner plates.
Yeah, they
just
were
ginormous,
so beautiful.
Gorgeous. Came in different colors. It was just beauty. A lot of homemade items. They had like some MLM stuff. Pampered Chef was out there. Somebody else, I don't remember. There were a couple others out there. A lot of just the food products.
Yes.
And a lot of them were like the gluten-free, keto-friendly. People are they're paying attention and they're making the yummy stuff.
Yep.
That's healthy for you. And seriously, every Saturday, get your butt out there. Do it now before it starts getting too hot.
Right. Right.
We'll take you to another farmer's market once it starts getting too hot. We'll take you to the indoor ones.
Right.
But for right now, this is beautiful. Hit it up. Put it on your calendar for next Saturday. Go check them out. And that's all I got for you.
Yeah,
Get out there to the Arrowhead Farmer's Market.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Subscribe. And share it with your friends because you never know who needs to hear this. You can also follow us on Instagram at Hot in Arizona. You can see pictures of all the wonderful places that we go. And you can follow me, Scarlett, on Facebook and Instagram at HeartPrinceAZ.
And me, Kelly, Healthy Heart and Happy Soul, Facebook and Instagram.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.